Hello, everyone. As it is, and if you've not heard, let me let you know that Emeka Ike has sued INEC and Wike's aid. You know that one, the Olayinka, that one that there's no need because even wasting a sentence on that one is waste of words. Actor Emeka Ike sues INEC Minister Wike's aide Olayinka for 10 billion naira over alleged voter data breach. He asked the court to declare that Olayinka's publication of his personal data on social media as unlawful and unconstitutional. Nollywood actor and politician Emeka Ike has dragged the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) and Lere Olayinka media aide to the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory (FCT) Nyesom Wike before a federal high court in Abuja over the alleged unlawful disclosure of his personal voter information. In a suit marked FHC ABJCS 1272/2026 and filed on June 15, Ike is seeking 10 billion naira in damages for what is described as a gross violation of his constitutional right to privacy and protection of personal data. The lawsuit follows a controversy that erupted in May after Olayinka published screenshot on his ex, formerly Twitter, account showing details of Ike's voter registration transfer from Imo State to the Federal Capital Territory. The information, which appeared to have been obtained from a restricted administrative portal of INEC, was shared amid public debate over Ike's eligibility to contest for the House of Representatives seat in Abuja following his participation in recent political primary activities. The publication triggered widespread outrage, with many Nigerians questioning how sensitive voter information from a password-protected electoral database became publicly accessible. Critics accused Olayinka of obtaining unauthorized access of back-end platform reserved exclusively for INEC officials. Let me just stop here to say, Emeka Ike, well done. You have all our support. You would have even made it 100 billion. But anyway, you are magnanimous in just making it 10 billion. And you need to drag INEC and that man, all of them. They need to pay. They have to pay for this. Because first of all, INEC is supposed to protect his data. He has been made vulnerable a lot just by putting his information out there. There is a data protection, law that we have here in this country. People are supposed to be protected, their information safeguarded. The INEC failed. And this is not just an ordinary place that you go to, you just open it. It's not a publicly accessible information. It's an information that only INEC official with the right password, right credential, right authorization that can actually have access to this. But yet, this was put out publicly. And this says a lot beyond just Emeka Ike. It's because they put out Emeka Ike's data that we know they have access to it. Whose data do they have access? I might wake up today and go to INEC. Now maybe they've removed my name. Who knows? They can do it. These people that already have access to this data. What else do they have? How many more Nigerians are compromised? How many more of our information, our data have been compromised because INEC is not doing what it's supposed to do? INEC, has allowed itself to be to become an organization that the only independence we can see attached to it is the I that is in its name. And they did some shabby, kind of investigation and came out with, as usual, something that definitely they are not doing it for the true sense of trying to unearth what happened, because hey, they probably know how it happened. The only thing that is coming out is that we had a blabber mouth and someone who is finger triggering mechanism is so cheap that any small thing he's ready to put out things and say he knows things and say this thing. Lord have mercy. Following the incident, INEC denied claims that its continuous voter registration database has been hacked or compromised by external actors. I believe INEC in this. This is no hacking. There's no hacking anywhere. This looks like access were given. That's the place that we should focus on. Yes, I don't think it's any hacking. And INEC saying that there was no hacking, I think that for me, I believe INEC in that. What this looks like is that access. What we need to find out did who and who, or did INEC grant access, and who are who in INEC granted that access? Because indeed, what we can see from all of this is that access was granted, and everybody's data has now been compromised due to that. So we need to find out what needs to be established is who and who granted this access. Was access granted? That's the main thing, not even anything about hacking. The electoral body, however, acknowledged that the disclosure resulted from the misuse of valid internal credentials by authorized personnel. And so if they've already accepted this, that this was done with the know-how of personnel in INEC. INEC must take responsibility. We don't know personnel in INEC. There's no human being who is personnel in INEC. And whatever they did at the moment they did it with the authorization of INEC. And so therefore INEC needs to pay, the price for this breach that has happened. The controversy also prompted an investigation by the operative of the Force Intelligence Department Intelligence Response Team (FID) IRT, who reportedly questioned Olayinka and an electoral officer over the alleged leak of voter information from the commission's portal. In a fresh suit filed through his lawyer, Leonard Ade, Ike argued that the publication of his voter records without his consent constituted a serious breach of his privacy rights as guaranteed under Section 37 of the 1999 Constitution, Article 12 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, and Section 24 and 39 of the Nigeria Data Protection Act 2023. He asked the court to declare that Olayinka's publication of his personal data on social media was unlawful and unconstitutional. The actor further argued that INEC owed him and millions of other registered voters a statutory duty of care to protect their personal information from unauthorized access, misuse, and public disclosure. According to the court document, Ike is seeking a declaration that INEC's press statement June 2nd, 2026, issued in response to the controversy, amounted to a tacit admission of liability for failing to adequately secure his voters. Oh my God, this guy, he knows what he's doing. There's lawyers, they know what they're doing. Because that's what it meant. They admitted that there was something that had gone on. What they say, some personnel, then INEC needs to pay for the fact that he did not train his personnel well to know not to breach people's data, information, privacy, and security. He also wants the court to hold both INEC and Olayinka jointly liable for violating his fundamental rights. Among the relief sought in an order compelling Olayinka to immediately delete the social media post containing screenshot of the actor's voter information and tender an unreserved public apology. Ike further requested that the apology be published on Olayinka's X account in 3 national newspapers for 2 consecutive weeks. The actor is also demanding 10 billion as aggravated and general damages against both defendants for what he described as a gross breach of privacy and unlawful exposure of his personal data. The suit is expected to test the scope of Nigeria's data protection laws and the obligation of public institutions in safeguarding citizens' information, personal information, and increasingly digital electoral system. I love this suit. This is the kind of suit. When people tell me, I shut this and say, go and sue this one, I say, am I going to be suing poverty out of people? Let people into authority like this one now. I don't reach court. I'm really happy that Emeka Ike is taking this on. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.